Hello everyone, welcome to my settlement in Fallout 4. I'm going to take you on a tour of a military museum that I built out here in the wasteland. Let's get going. The location of my military museum is in the Nuka World Red Rocket gas station, which I'm building up as a settlement. You have the bottling plant in the background, and it's made of concrete. Anyway, let's get on with the tour. And this is the front of the building, the museum I built. On the left side, you'll see the American flag. And on the right side, you will see a bronze statue of a Minuteman, which is really in tribute to everybody who's ever taken arms or is willing to volunteer to protect our country. And as we approach the front entrance, the first thing you'll see is a dedication wall with the American flag on it. And I don't want to offend anybody, but this is what the American flag looks like in Fallout 4. It has the 13 stars for the 13 colonies. But this, I guess they never got around to having 50 states like we do in the real world. Anyway, it says they're dedicated to all who served. And turning to our right, we will find our information officer. He's also in charge of security here. He has his security desk there.
Yes?
Nothing, just coming over to say hello. Anyway, on this wall are the standard issue small arms that are issued throughout the different services in the armed forces. On the upper left, you'll see the combat rifle, and next to that will be the assault rifle, and then after that, the laser rifle when they started replacing ballistic weapons with the energy weapons, and then we have the Ripper, which is a handheld chainsaw for hand-to-hand, the standard 10mm pistol, and then finally at the bottom, the combat shotgun. Now, moving in this direction, what we'll come to is the wall dedicated to the U.S. Air Force. The figure on the left is, of course, a pilot. It's a U.S. Air Force aviator. He's wearing a flight suit, a bomber jacket, and a brown flight helmet. The brown flight helmet is fairly rare, fairly hard to find. The more common version of this would be the yellow flight helmet. And the figure to the right of that, of course, is a U.S. Air Force astronaut. This represents the Air Force's role in space through the Air Force Space Command. And turning clockwise once more, we'll come to the U.S. Army wall. Of course, the wall is dedicated to the U.S. Army and shows the different uniforms they've had through the years. The first figure is in a colonial duster. So this is during the Revolutionary War. He's wearing a colonial duster and a tricorn hat. And then to the right of that would be a person in army fatigue and black beret. This is mid-20th century. And then after that would be a person again in army fatigue. However, there is a combat chest piece and a Kevlar helmet. And after that is a soldier in full combat armor, including a combat helmet. Now this is something that you would have seen in the intro of Fallout 4. This uniform was worn during the invasion, the retaking of Alaska, and the subsequent counter-invasion into China. It wouldn't be Fallout if it wasn't for the power armor. And what we have here is a T-51B, which really made a difference once the U.S. Started pushing into China. The T-45D was replaced by the T-51B. Now, aside from armor protection, the power armor, of course, enhances the soldier's strength. So it was natural to utilize that strength by assigning heavier weapons to a infantryman with power armor on. And these are the heavy weapons that were developed to take advantage of that added strength or that enhanced strength. That would be the Fat Man, which is a uh, man-portable tactical nuclear launching device, and of course the 5mm minigun. And over here is just a modded minigun. This one is high powered. It has 3 barrels and a flash hider. Okay, let's head on up to the second floor. And the first thing you'll see as you come up the stairs would be the hall dedicated to the U.S. Marines. See here, U.S. Marine Corps, Semper Fidelis, which is the motto of the Marines, of course. On this wall would be the weapons that are closely identified to the Marines, which is the Marine Scout Sniper Rifle. We have down here the combat mounted the K-bar. And then finally, this would be the M1928A1 submachine gun, which were used by the Marine Raiders in the Pacific Theater during World War II. Now, these are the outfits that you can find in the Fallout 4 game. The first one is an Assault Marine armor set. Next to that would be the Recon Marine armor set. Now, this armor set for the Recon Marines is much lighter, although it looks very similar to the Assault Marines. It's a lot lighter, and note that it does not come with leg armor. The last armor set that were made for the Marines in-game would be the Marine wetsuit and the Marine tactical helmet. Okay, let's swing around this way, and we'll come to the hall dedicated to the U.S. Navy. You'll see a U.S. Navy officer there in military fatigue. Is wearing a sea captain's hat. This is an anti-globe just to signify that the U.S. Navy can reach anywhere in the globe. And this is a rescue diver suit, which is of course another role the U.S. Navy plays. This is a painting of a United States Continental Naval officer. He's on board a U.S. frigate, and he's resting his hand on a deck gun. It's a SEAL sniper rifle. This would be a suppressed 10mm pistol. And then finally a broadsider, which is a pintle gun or a deck gun from the USS Constitution. Now walking over this way, we come to the wall dedicated to the US Coast Guard. Now starting on the right side is a US Coast Guard aviator. He's wearing a red flight helmet, which I got from the Coast Guard pier in the game, and is wearing green fatigues. Again, the red helmet is fairly hard to find, less common than the yellow variety. Next to that is a US Coast Guardsman. He's wearing a US Coast Guard hat, military fatigues, and you'll notice that down below there would be a life preserver signifying the search and rescue mission of the US Coast Guard. Now this figure is not canon in-game, however I dedicate this figure to the black hull fleet of the US Coast Guard that tend to the buoys that aid navigation. He's wearing a blue hard hat that he wears when he's working on the buoys on deck of a US Coast Guard black hull ship. Also at his feet, you'll notice his toolbox and a blowtorch which he uses to fix those buoys. And this is actually the last exhibit in our military tribute museum. However, there is one more floor, so if you'll come with me up the stairs one last time, we'll come to a very special room. You'll notice that it is kind of exclusive. Not everybody's allowed to come in. You have to open the door by activating this switch. And as we enter, what you come to is a lounge for U.S. servicemen. You know, if they're on the road and they need to rest before they get back on the road, this is where they can go. Lots of seating, lots of comfortable seating. Even have some comfy pillows here. You want to take a nap. Also, there are some board games. If you want to pass the time by playing board games. More seating, and this alcove is really comfortable. Here's a desk that you can catch up on your paperwork if you have paperwork to do, or perhaps you just want to type up a quick letter to home. You can do that on this desk. You see the paintings on the wall make it really, really inviting, comfortable. So even a radio you can turn on, listen to some music. There you go. And then over here is a sink where you can wash up, freshen up. There's even some soap there. And over here is our complimentary refreshments counter. We have some steak, some kebabs there. We have some mute fruit, some potatoes. Have tableware, of course. And we have drinks too. Here are some of the harder to find Nuka-Cola varieties. You have Victory, Quantum, Wild, Dark. You also have some bourbon there. That's what you want. And ice cold beer. Anybody want some ice cold Weathered Pale? We got some of that. And we also have fresh coffee on the brew on the Luxo Brew coffee pot. And there you go. Well, thank you very much for coming along with me on this tour of my military tribute museum in Fallout 4. And although this is just an in-game tribute, what is real is my gratitude and my family's gratitude for all those who serve in the military to protect our country. We thank you and we thank your family for all the dedication and sacrifices you've made. And in the real world, there are so many things we can do, so many organizations we can join to actually show real gratitude to these men and women who have dedicated their lives to protecting our freedom in our country. Again, thank you very much.